think about how parents teach their children. When your children are young, you read them stories. You read them bedtime stories, Little Red Hen, and Goldilocks and the Three Bears. You read them fairy tales, and as they get older, you read them longer stories, the Chronicles of Narnia. You read them, when they're young, Beatrix Potter. When they're older, the Lord of the Rings. But you read them stories, and in these stories, sometimes glorious and splendid things happen. Sometimes terrifying and awful things happen. But generally, we read them stories, especially when they're young, when good prevails and evil fails. And we do that, we read them these stories which are imitations of the real life that they will encounter more when they grow up. Because when they're young, we want them to learn what pity and terror and other emotions feel like without being faced with the thing immediately and all the demands on us for action. Remember at the beginning of this discussion, I talked about the difference between how you must react if you discover a corpse in a field, and how you may react if you see a corpse in a painting. If you see the corpse of a real human being in a field, there's a demand upon you to do something about it, and now. You don't have time to stand around and think about the glory of the human form. You need to do something about this dead person. But if you see a dead body in a painting, you can stand and wonder at the human form. So the distance gives you a way to think about something you could not in real life. Well, the same thing is true when we raise our children. We want them to know how to deal with the emotions and with the experiences that will produce the emotions later on in life. In other words, think of it this way. Imaginative literature, stories are like emotional boot camp for life. They give us a way of understanding what it will feel like when we're faced with death or with threat and danger or with overwhelming misery. We can read stories where pity and terror are present, where our emotions are aroused, but they're aroused in such a way that we're not called upon to engage in immediate action. We can reflect on and meditate on the events and on the emotions in our own souls that are raised.